Here are some brutally honest tips for women who are over the age of 30 who are looking to get married and start a family. If you like brutal honesty, if you're over the age of 30 and you like people being real with you, this is the video for you. If you are over the age of 30 years old and you want to get married and start a family, the first thing you need to do is accept the fact that you may never get married and you may never have that family that you always wanted. I know this is a hard pill for you to swallow, but you need to swallow it, sister, okay? You may not get married, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And so that's why it's important for you to have other goals outside of marriage and family planning, okay? Because what happens is a lot of times women, they hit 30, they look up and they see all their friends and all their peers is getting married, and then they start to feel bad and they start beating themselves up, okay? They start feeling sorry for themselves, and then what do? They go and catapult themselves into a relationship with the first man that looks at them, and usually it's toxic as and ends tumultuously. We want to avoid that from happening, so that's the first thing you need to do. You need to accept the fact that you may not get married, and that is okay. That doesn't make you any less of a woman. That doesn't make you any, that doesn't mean that you're like a bad person. You just may not get married. Not all of us are going to get married, and that it is what it is. Number 2, you need to delete the dating apps, okay? Delete the dating apps from your phone immediately. Dating apps are for little girls. Dating apps is for girls that are in college. You are a grown-ass 30-year-old woman. Stop it. You need to delete the dating apps from your phone and go outside and touch grass, okay? Go outside and make sure that you look your best when you go outside, okay? You got to be looking cute, okay? Because we're 30. Let's be for real. Number 3, and this is the most important rule out of all of them. You need to accept the fact that you have horrible taste in men, okay? Point blank, period. You have horrible taste in men, and so as a result, the person who is your type is not going to be your husband. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Your husband is likely not going to be your type, and that's just on period. That's just how it works. Ask any married woman, especially married women that's been married for a long time, like successful and happily married women. Clock that. Ask them. A lot of them will tell you that their husbands were not their type. The type of men that they were looking for is not the type of men that they ended up with. But that's okay. If you're over the age of 30 and you have a very specific type, like you like him to be a specific type of person, clearly that's not working for you. Clearly you haven't been successful in dating for a reason. So you need to step away from that. Like that type. Oh, he's not my type. That be your problem every time. Your type needs to be a man that's willing to provide for you, a man that's willing to be faithful to you, a man that's willing to love you, and a man that's you real good. Okay, that should be your type. All this material stuff. You know, he gotta be 6 foot this, and he gotta have all that, and he gotta drive this. That's some little girl. We're 30 and up. It's time for you to grow up. Like, grow up. Stop being so immature. That's all I got for right now. Let me know if y'all want to hear some more, because I do have some more. Stay tuned for part 2.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video. Over and over again, you see this one-sided effort and what it does. And at the end of the day, it makes men check out.
Why isn't he gonna f me? Why doesn't he want to f me? Now I want to f him. All the guys, if I want to f them, are the guys who are not actively trying to f me.
Women are this simple. That last sentence you just said, forget every little bit of dating advice I've ever told you. Just rewind that last 5-second rant she went on.
A lot of men have checked out after dealing with a lot of foolishness from modern women. And they're upset about that.
Men want traditional women, but they're not prepared to be traditional men. You know, taking over countries, bringing her the bones and skulls of her enemies so she can make chalices out of them. It's just not the same anymore.
You know, what you see with a lot of these modern women is when accountability tends to disappear, that's when you're going to see men starting to pull back.
Go ahead. Keep screaming strong and independent. Meanwhile, men are out here choosing fit, feminine, friendly, and submissive, not combative, masculine, and stubborn. And if you got kids, you're not disqualified, but you are on a harder level. You gotta prove why a man should take care of your situation. He could easily build one from scratch with someone else.
Because if you really think about it, yearning is taking yourself out of the present moment and thinking about somebody else. Oh my God, look at this pimple. Oh, and personally, I don't want to do that. Why would I want to think about somebody else when my life is so beautiful? Like, I feel like I should be thinking about my own life, not somebody else's life. I can't do that.
I honestly feel offended because this man with bald hair and pure white facial hair asked me if I was single at my server job last night. Baby, I'm 21. I'm 21. I don't think I look older than 23, like 25 max. Are you out of your mind?
Look, a man approaching you at work is just a man testing the waters. He doesn't know you, so he's reading surface level, your vibe, your energy, how you carry yourself. Whether you think you look 21 or 25 doesn't really matter to him. He asked a simple question. Getting offended that he even tried is kind of missing the point of how this actually works. You see a lot of good men getting pushed away by these terrible attitudes of modern women, and they're going to wonder where all of the good men went.
So I am now taking applications for a husband. So, yeah, I'm 28 years old. 29. I'm 29 years old. Comes with 3 kids. If you know how to do basic, like cutting your yard, or fixing some plumbing, or just what a man should do, I am taking applications. So please send me your application. Bring your resume. I need to know how many mamas you have, and how many kids, and what you do for work, and if you're annoying, and if you're toxic, and yeah. Please and thank you. I would really appreciate it.
When you see this type of disrespect of men going on, you'll start to see why a lot of these guys are choosing to be at peace.
Did you know that these famous men practiced celibacy at one point or another? Because I definitely didn't. While filming the movie Silence, Andrew Garfield was celibate for several months in 2016. Not only was he celibate, but he was also fasting. So on a podcast, Andrew revealed that for a period of time, he was experiencing some pretty wild and trippy experiences. Terry Crews revealed to ET that he had a 90-day fast with his wife, Rebecca. He said that what was beautiful about it was that it took him to a time when he was 12 years old, liked a girl, and didn't know anything about this. At first, Terry thought that the fast was going to be horrible, but later said that it was the best thing we had ever done. Justin Bieber was celibate for 1 year. In 2019, he told Vogue that he had a legitimate problem with sex and decided to abstain so he could get closer to God. Justin said, "I think sex can cause a lot of pain. Sometimes people have sex because they don't feel good enough, because they lack self-worth." And honestly, what Justin said can be very true. No matter the reason for practicing celibacy, if you learned something new today like I did, comment down below.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'3".
How much do you weigh?
That's none of your business. I told you I was fat.
Oh, okay. We don't play that on my channel. You get your big fat on somewhere then. I don't deal with you big sassy broads.
It's so my vibe. It's so my vibe.
If you think you can get out here and be like Danny's big, go knock yourself out. But I would be remiss to try to tell you as an image consultant and as a person and a professional that you can be 5'3" and weigh so much that you don't even want to tell somebody how much you weigh and think you're going to get a man to marry you, a high value man. So you go ahead and go on back over and get your 2-piece or 3-piece or whatever you got coming from, Chick-fil-A or Popeyes or, and carry your on over. Do you think she talked to Brad that way? No. And go on ahead and get your slave fantasy out. You got your mind. I think you talking to me.
Over and over again, you see these modern women, and you hear it. They continue to display behavior that will make a man lose interest quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Okay, so what is it with men and not wanting to plan dates?
Women are part of the problem for sure.
But also this generation of men that's coming up, you look pretty young, probably in your early 20s. A traditional man that wants to do all of that is going to be a little bit harder to find. Here's one of the main problems though. Here's where you affect this whole thing as a woman, a female presenting human. Go along with whatever he says. When it comes time for the date, if he says like, what do you want to do? Say, I'd really like for you to choose. I'd really like for you to plan it. And I'm down for whatever, I promise. And then don't roll your eyes. Don't complain. Don't scoff. Do it. Then at the end, when he asks like what you thought, be like, well, I had a good time with you, but I probably would have liked a whatever. And then suggest a change and then allow him to change the next time. A lot of men are asking what women want and going back and forth because every man has experienced this. Hey, I'd like to take you out sometime. Awesome, cool. Let's go to this restaurant, maybe like Friday at this time. Ew, I don't like that place. Okay, well, where's somewhere that you do like? You don't plan the date? That. And I'm sure you can understand how that would be annoying. It's not 100% on women, but that's how you can help to alleviate the issue, at least in your small sample size of experience.
You know, when men finally see, and modern women don't think that men are seeing this, but men have stopped investing. Men are opting out of a lot of this foolishness because these standards are so one-sided.
I cannot believe the amount of male commentators on my last video not knowing what courting is. I've had men courted me through and through, and they've had their mothers or sisters taught them very, very well on how to court a woman. And because I dropped the last person that I was talking to because he didn't court me or like even talk to me like properly, I'm going to explain to the masses that courting is just basically asking her out on a date. She says yes. If you're still interested in her, then you ask her out on a date again. And if she's still interested in you, she would say yes. And you keep on repeating that process until you guys both spend time together. So both of you guys realize you guys like each other and start doing things with each other as a team. And then you officially ask her out. That's just my experience on dating. And no male has ever asked me to plan dates. None of my girlfriends that has a long-term partner have had a male ask her to plan dates while you guys are like getting to know each other. Like, I didn't know I was supposed to take you out. I didn't know I was gonna plan a car ride for you. I didn't know I was gonna plan out like a day where we hang out together and guide you to all these places. Like, what?
What my favorite thing about my man is? You wanna know? That he literally turned the hoe into the housewife. He literally turned the hoe into a housewife. It's possible. I'm just folding his boxers. You know, it took a minute. I was like, you know, I ain't ready to settle down, baby. I'm still out here in the streets. But he turned me into a housewife. How's your mind? Yeah, he did it. Yeah.
You know, some things should not be said out loud or said at all. If that's what the case was, keep that to yourself, you know, because that's not a flex. And imagine the guy, you know, the man watching this, like now the whole, because it got millions of views. Imagine everybody know that he turned a hoe into a housewife and he's just sitting there. And I'm just saying, she probably made it because she wants to go back to the streets. That's probably why she made it. So just FYI, because she belongs to the streets, fam.
That it's just this kind of universal experience that women have with men of them not asking questions. Every girl has this. We all talk about it all the time. It's big all over the internet. It's like a known thing that men are, in general, not great at asking questions.
Why do you think that is?
So, good stuff.
Thank you. I mean, I'm curious.
So my friend, Zach Zucker, because he's a comedian, I'm with Zach and I said, what do you think? He's like, I actually feel like I know what it is. And it's that when men get together, we don't f***ing ask each other questions. We just talk about things. I barely know anything about my best friends. We just talk and the conversation just goes here and there. And we're not really doing this like interview style type thing. women, we really do that. And so it's like the man and the woman are getting together, expecting the interaction to be like how they feel when they're most comfortable with somebody, like they're a woman with her female friends and a man with his male friends. And then we're trying to recreate that level of comfort and camaraderie with each other, although we have extremely different communication styles. So it's just like this.
Does that make you feel any negative way, or have you accepted that?
I've sort of accepted that. And now I've realized, like, any guy who's like just a little bit on the internet kind of knows that this is a problem and has kind of corrected for it. And then some guys don't.
Look, that's actually a fair observation. Men and women just operate differently in conversations. A guy with his boys is going to riff, trade stories, keep it moving. Women tend to ask more questions, dig deeper, make it feel like an interview. And when you're trying to date across that gap, yeah, some guys never adjust. They just expect her to be cool with his natural style. That's where a disconnect happens.
If I run in here and work out, it just got put on my spirit. I know a lot of times people don't understand, especially women, why I vouch for men, at times. And it's simply because I have experienced life, right, to a certain degree, and I'm still experiencing life, right? But I have seen good men get done wrong by women. Like, I've seen it. I've seen men get drugged through the ringer by women. Unnecessarily, simply because they can't get their way. I've seen it. The same way I've seen, and I have also experienced firsthand, being dogged out by men or not treated, the way that I should have been treated. I mean, I've experienced that too. I've seen that. I've had friends that experienced it as well, but I can't say that one is worse than the other. I feel like I've heard equal stories, and I'm not just talking about friends. I'm talking about, just people that I've worked with, just hearing some of the stuff they have gone through. Yes, there's just terrible people out here. It's not more than the other. I've heard stories about terrible women just like I've heard stories about terrible men. I mean, period. So that's why I don't understand why women put themselves on such a higher pedestal than men, as if we're just better individuals. We're not. We're absolutely not. Okay? It's, there's not a lot of good people in this world. Because there's too many people that are just selfish. You can't be a good person and be selfish. Too many of y'all are just thinking about yourselves, right? And it's just becoming to a point where nobody pretty much wants to deal with each other. It just seems like it's a lot of that. Y'all rather not deal with each other because you're worried about self more than anything else, when it's supposed to be a community type effort. So yes, a lot of times I'm going to call out women, but I do call out men at times. And I've seen women dog out good men repeatedly. So I don't understand how y'all don't see this or y'all miss this, and y'all always call men predators. Y'all always say that, but we have to have men for safety and protection, okay? So that means there have to be men that cooperate in knowing that they have to protect us, okay? I don't understand what the issue is. We need men, period. And a lot of y'all dog them out and act like they're worthless. And men are such predators, right? Y'all might want to look up the stats when it comes to child cases. Because between both genders, women hold the higher percentage when it comes to child cases. Okay? So we even hear how terrible women are, not only to men, but to their own kids. You can watch true crime documentaries to hear how women are terrible to their children. So we're no better.
This is how I know a lot of you women genuinely don't take the time to really listen to men, especially healthy, genuine men who are trying to help a lot of you women win. Y'all don't really want to listen to them. Y'all listen to respond because you're so triggered and your emotions are in the way, but you never take the time to listen to understand. Let's get into it.
What I don't get is why men will say they want a feminine woman, but will turn around and say that they don't chase women. Like, how do you want a feminine woman, but you want to be chased? It makes no sense.
So first and foremost, I'm going to talk about what a feminine woman is, feminine energy, right? And I'm not saying that men don't have these, but I'm just talking specifically about women and when they embody feminine energy, right? I wrote this down. These are all different type of ways of feminine energy. I want y'all to listen, ladies, because a lot of you women, y'all don't move like this. I just want to make that part very clear. Okay, let's get into it. First of all, feminine women are nurturing and compassionate. A lot of y'all are not compassionate women. Y'all aren't. If it's not about you, if it's not about how you feel, if it's not, getting you what you want, a lot of y'all really genuinely don't care about what men want, how they feel, or anything like that. And a lot of y'all aren't nurturing. And a lot of y'all, if your man's coming home and he's tired, he's had a long day, y'all aren't nurturing that man. You're complaining, oh my God, I had a long day too. Oh my God, I'm tired too, but I still got it. Y'all aren't nurturing women. Y'all barely are affectionate unless it's on your time. And it's not even just about, I'm talking about just little basic things. When's the last time some of y'all even gave y'all man a massage? Because he wanted a massage, or not even because he wanted it, but because you wanted to be affectionate to that man and make sure that he felt good. So think about it. A lot of y'all talk about intuition in your feminine, but y'all don't have intuition when it comes to the type of men that y'all choose to entertain. Where's your intuition there? But y'all talk about how much women's intuition is always not wrong and this, that, and the third. Y'all know what that is. You're magnetic. Y'all are magnetic for sure, but you're magnetic to the wrong type of men that y'all be complaining about. I wonder why. Think about that. Warm and welcoming. Some of you ladies are not warm. You're not welcoming. You have attitude all the time. You act like the world's trying to, spit you and chew you out and this, that, and the third. Like, relax. Easy for you to express love. Y'all are not vulnerable people. A lot of you women are not vulnerable. You're not. And all because you got dog dragged and cheated on, so now you don't want to do it no more. Instead of learning how to trust yourself, right, and learning that you are love, you embody love, so you should be able to move like that. Think about that one. Creative. Y'all are sure creative when it comes to making content about men, but how many of y'all are really creative with yourself? In touch with your feelings. We don't have to go there. Receptive. Again, a lot of you women love to listen to respond, but not listen to understand. These men be telling y'all exactly what they want from us, and y'all do the complete opposite. Because y'all don't want to be receptive. Y'all want what y'all want. Okay. Comfortable with inner darkness. A lot of y'all can never sit with yourself in the darkness. Can never sit with yourself in silence. That's a problem. Comfortable with silence and changes. Some of y'all haven't changed since you were 13 years old. Think about that. You see vulnerability as strength. Again, a lot of y'all are not vulnerable. Y'all are victims in your own mindset, but you're not vulnerable. Take full responsibility for your life. Accountability. Create harmonious spaces. When men say that there's a reason why they stop telling women stuff, it's because a lot of women are not a safe space. Y'all go tell your homegirls every single thing that man has done, his own personal life stories to other women, yada, yada, and then a lot of y'all use that on a man later on, when y'all get in arguments, when he's ready to leave, or whatever the case may be. Authentic. Y'all aren't authentic anymore. Y'all are just duplicates of each other, hive minds of each other. Elegant and graceful. Don't get me started, because the way y'all be talking and acting, y'all aren't elegant and graceful. Feminine essence. Just because you do your hair, your makeup, your nails, your lashes, and you have on a dress, does not make you feminine. Let's make that part very clear. People tell you you're motherly. You see femininity as a strength. Y'all don't see that being in your feminine energy naturally, gracefully, will really get you so much further in life. Not even in relationships, I'm talking about in life in general. Okay? Men aren't chasing because they want a woman who is reciprocating what they pour into. As I've gotten older, I have definitely been more aware of if a man genuinely likes me or if a man does not like me. And I'm not pouring into no man who doesn't like me. And I have no problem reciprocating to a man that likes me. When you are courting someone, you're courting someone who wants to also be courted by you, who actually likes you. Not the things that you do, but likes you. Why would a man chase a woman who, first of all, why are we chasing in the first place? If I like you and you like me, we're not chasing each other. We're actually trying to build something with each other. There's a difference. We gotta stop saying chasing. We shouldn't be chasing nobody. Men shouldn't be chasing women shouldn't be chasing men. But a lot of these men aren't courting a lot of women because y'all don't act correct. Y'all don't. We got too many women out here who have botched bodies, high mindsets, victim mentality mindsets, like just nasty attitudes, aren't even truly their most authentic self, still holding on what happened to them by Daquan when they were 12, like still upset with their uncle who did something to them when they were 5. Like, y'all want to stay stuck in the negativity, right? So there's a reason why a lot of men aren't quote unquote chasing. There's no reason for it. Also, I think a lot of you women are upset that a lot of men have learned self-love. Y'all think a lot of you women think that men shouldn't have self-love. Men shouldn't have self-worth, self-respect. They should only get women's fame. Absolutely not. This is exactly why we get so many men who are doormats and who are miserable and simps, because they're staying with women because of the fact that they don't want to be lonely. So they allow that woman to say this, that, and the third to them, or do whatever the case may be, and let them walk all over them because they have no self-worth, no self-respect for themselves. There's a reason why a lot of y'all are getting those type of men, but you're not getting the actual men who know themselves and know their value and aren't going to deal with no nonsense that a lot of you women bring, unfortunately. Like, think about that. I like who likes me genuinely, right? And I'm not changing how I like a man. You either don't like me or you not. But just because you don't like me doesn't mean that there's not someone else out there who will like me, right? And that's something I had to learn, right? I was thought I needed to stop doing less to like get their attention because I was doing too much. I wasn't doing too much. I'm doing too much for the wrong person, right? The right person will never think that I'm doing too much as far as how I like a man and how I move with a man, genuinely, intentionally, right? Y'all just don't get people who genuinely like you. But on top of that, no man is going to continue to pour and give and give and give to a woman who's just taking and really not doing anything and adding value back to him. You being a woman is not enough for a man. You just because you know how to, it's not enough for a man. Just because you know how to cook and clean and you got your degree and you might have a little money in your account, it's not enough for a man. Like, I want y'all to start really understanding those things are not enough for a man, especially these generations of men. It's not. So this whole chasing, we need to get away from that. We need to understand how to be receptive and also start being reciprocating to men and women who actually like us. It will change a lot, okay?
I don't think people really understand that they put everything on the man. And when the man has to shoulder everything, eventually he gets tired. And they wonder why men step away. I'm tired of carrying all of your burdens and mine and your sister's kid and your parents. Give me some help.